Assalamualaikum and very good evening. I meet to Dr. Adamara and fellow friends. Today we will be presenting the case study 2 of Besico Berhad. Before that, let me introduce to our group members. From your left is Anis Adriana, Nurul Nabila, Nur Amila, Nur Atika, Muhammad Afiq and Nurul Nadia. So now let's proceed to the first presenter.
First of all, we are going to look into the issues and analysis of Besico Corporation Berhad. Assalamualaikum, my name is Anis Adriana and I'm going to be presenting the issues and analysis of Besi Corporation Berhad. There are plenty of issues that can be identified in Besico. First of all, there is issue related to audit queries where the company auditors would be giving the 2016 audited financial report an adverse audit opinion and Besico needs to respond to the audit queries. And next, the second issue is regarding to regularization plan in which Besico did not manage to come up with one for the past 3 years. The main purpose of this is to attract Chinese investors in order to revive Besico. Since Besico is in the verge of delisting, they also need to submit the regularization plan to maintain the listing status. Next, there is issue of workers' protest against retrenchment in Giant Steel when it shuts down its operation, of which 800 workers would be terminated. Therefore, they demand for a reasonable arrangement from Besico. Besico has 3 divisions for its group, which are Steel, Property, and Furniture Division. There are some issues that arise in each division. Firstly, in Steel Division, which is also known as Giant Steel, the petition that was submitted to Ministry International Trade and Industry to seek for safeguard duties was rejected due to Giant Steel's poor performance. Giant Steel also has to suspend its operation, facing decline in revenues and rising in raw material costs due to Chinese steelmakers' dumping activities, and is facing an allegation that they have been selling HRC products at premium price and supplying inconsistent product quality. Next, for Property Division, Besico had reported lower sales and revenue and operating profits due to residential segment of Malaysia's property market become less heated, while in Furniture Division, Besico struggled to break even the contribution as it was small and the profit contribution towards the group is either not significant or reported loss. Now, I will analyze the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat of Besico. Firstly, in terms of strengths, Besico was a profitable company as it owned the country's largest HRC steel plants through huge shares owned in Giant Steel. Besico is also a public listed company as an investment holding company engaged in huge business divisions. Next, Besico is currently indicating poor company performance, where the situation arises from the weaknesses of the company. Besico Group has been reporting loss on financial statements. Next, Besico's audited financial report is adverse opinion and is facing workers' protests against retrenchment. There is absence in regularization plan and Besico is about to be delisted. Besico also sells its product at higher price and has inconsistent product quality compared to its competitors. Next, even though Besico is facing some difficulties, however, it has opportunity to attract Chinese investors to take part in Besico's restructuring of the company. The local steel demand is still uptrend, thus Giant Steel may have chance to resume its operation. Moreover, from steel industry revolution aspect, Besico still has many opportunities such as venture into digital investment, utilize online e-business platform, apply big data analytics in production and business data to improve production, and enhance its technological development to ensure more efficient operation. And next, there are some factors that can threaten the business of Besico. First, there is excessive foreign steel dumping activities where Chinese steelmakers export products at much lower price, and this results in suspended operation of steel division, decline in revenue, and rising in raw material costs. Government regulations on import duties is also threatening Besico as it creates unfair advantage, and the petition against it has become a failure. Besico is facing high price competition due to influx of China steel, and slow-moving worldwide demand could threaten Besico's sales.
Now, let's proceed to audit queries.
Hi, my name is Nurul Nadia and I will present audit queries. So for the first question is how Besico assess its going concern ability. So for a company to be a going concern, it must be able to continue operating long enough to carry out its commitment, obligation, objective, and so on. So in the possible future, Giant Steel has the ability to continue its operation and increase its profitability. So based on the market analysis, there is an increase of price of steel parts from 1,500 to 2,500 in 2016. So this favorable price has discouraged Chinese steelmaker from importing and supply the steel at lower price. So this is the benchmark for Giant Steel to make profit again. And then Besico will be able to meet its going concern assumption, even though its current liability exceeds current asset by 2,921 million. So as May 2016, Giant Steel managed to obtain a restraint order against creditor for any proceeding against Giant Steel. So this measure is to remediate the delayed prepayment to the lenders and creditors. Future plans of Besico. So the future plans would be based on the proposed regularization plan prepared through the Director's Fund contribution to be financed by the Chinese investor. So in the proposed regularization plan, Besico is confident that they will be able to pay the short-term and long-term obligations since they will continue Giant Steel operation in 2017 and improve Giant Steel technology that will enhance the production quality. So Besico plans to enhance their marketing by using 4th Industrial Revolution. Deferred tax asset under IAS 12 is recognized for deductible temporary difference, unused tax losses, and unused tax credit to the extent that it is probable that taxable profit will be available against which deductible temporary difference is utilized. So deferred tax asset amounting to 378 million recognized by Besico derives from two situations which are carryover of losses and temporary difference. So for the first one, carryover of losses, since Besico is consistently suffer losses up until 2016, so it results in increase of carryover of losses. So Besico is entitled to use that loss to longer its taxable income in the following accounting year. Second, temporary difference due to accounting rules and tax rules. So since a company has to submit CP204 to IRB, so the positive tax recorded in 2016 indicate that Besico overpaid tax due to temporary difference. So this create opportunity for creation of deferred tax asset. Impairment of asset. According to IAS 36, at the end of the reporting period, an entity is required to assess whether there is an indication that an asset may be impaired consists of external or internal sources. So we believe that there is an internal sources that may cause the asset in Besico be impaired at the end of the reporting period. So since Giant Steel ceased its operation in 2016, so the asset being impaired is belong to Giant Steel. This is because no future economic benefit will derive from the asset. So the carrying amount of PPE in financial statement in 2016 is the amount after deducted the accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment loss. Inventories. Under IAS 12, inventory should be measured at the level of cost or net realizable value. So under normal circumstances, the cost of inventory has to be lower than net realizable value for the company to make profit and the recoverability of inventories. So Besico has recorded their inventories amounting to 104 million at cost basis. This is because Besico and Giant Steel face the rising cost of raw materials for scrap iron and iron ore, which were denominated in USD. So when the price of raw material is increased, this means that the inventory is in good conditions and the cost of inventory is recoverable. One-year's contract. According to IAS 37, one-year's contract is unavoidable cost of meeting obligation under contract exceed economic benefit expected to be received. So in this case, no provision of one-year's contract and no present obligation would be arise as both parties had shut down their operation. So Giant Steel is not liable to pay compensation for the loss suffered by the CDRI, and Giant Steel also does not receive any returns in relation to the supply of steel.
Now, let's move to financial analysis. I'm Amila and I'm going to present the financial analysis of Besico. Besico's financial performance has been bad due to the global supply crisis, and Besico's expected reduction in its revenue from 2014 due to the global slowdown of demand and Besi has temporarily ceased the operation of its science steel. Through the financial performance analysis, we can see that Besi is having an increase in its net loss percentage of revenue by 48% to 79% in 2016 due to the low revenue, high operating expense, and high financing costs. Besi is having a reduction in its gross income, although the percentage of raw material has decreased due to the increase in the price material and suspension of Chinese steel. However, the changes in the inventory and work in progress contribute to the decrease in the gross income by 22%, which indicates that the company is having an excessive inventory that is higher than what it has sold. The company also is having an increase in financing costs by 23% from last year due to its high liability and borrowing incurred in both 2015 and 2016. Through financial position analysis, we can see that the company's inventory has been decreased by 4.47% and its trade receivable has been decreased by 1.83% from last year, which indicates that the company is efficient in collecting its credit sales. However, its cash and bank balance has been decreased by 1.08% from last year and also lower than the other current assets, which indicate that the company has no liquidity provision. The major components of the total liabilities is in terms of its current liability due to the increase in trade and other payables by 22.2% from last year. This indicates that the company purchased more on credit and not immediately expend their cash, and is also due to the recent order obtained by the company to delay repayments on credit. The lower current asset as compared to its current liability indicate that the company is having financial risk and no liquidity position to cover its short-term obligation. The financial ratio analysis, its profitability ratio has been negative in both 2015 and 2016. This lower revenue is going to affect the going concern ability of the company and they show that the company's financial performance is inefficient and unhealthy. As for liquidity ratio, we can see that Besico's liquidity ratio for its current ratio and quick ratio is lower than 1, which indicates that the company has low liquid asset to cover its current obligations. As for its efficiency ratio, we can see that the company total asset turnover and inventory turnover is lower than 1, which indicates that the company has failed to employ their asset to generate sales as well as having overstocking issues. However, Besico has an increase in its account receivable turnover, which indicates that it's efficient in collecting its credit sales.
Okay, now we will be moving to the retrenchment and layoff plans. Hi everyone, my name is Nur Atika binti Muhammad Azhan. So today I will explain to you guys further on this matter. Retrenchment means the discharge of surplus labor or staff by the employer for any reasons whatsoever otherwise than as a punishment by way of disciplinary actions, whereas layoff refers to the suspension of employment by an employer. Employees who were laid off are paid layoff compensation and should be taken back to their original roles as soon as the layoff is lifted. If retrenchment is chosen, there are two ways to do it, which are VSS and MSS. First, voluntary separation scheme VSS. This arises when a company that is not officially retrenching but nonetheless wishes to reduce the headcount of its employees. In this scenario, the company will make an announcement that is addressed to the employees, akin to an advertisement that invites applicants to be considered for the VSS, and the company reserves the right to accept or reject the application of the employees. Second is mutual separation scheme, MSS. This arises when both parties agree to terminate the employment relationship, which seems like a win-win situation. The main feature is that the employer will agree to a financial payout in exchange for the employee agreeing to leave his employer voluntarily through resignations. It is often used to secure the departure of certain employees where a unilateral termination may be difficult or otherwise undesirable. The company must send notice of retrenchment to the employees and must report it to the relevant authorities. Failure to do so, the company can be fined up to 10,000 under the Section 99 of the EA. This is the retrenchment benefits. First, according to Regulation 6 of the Employment, Termination and Layoff Benefits, Regulation 1980, workers whose monthly salary is 2,000 and below and must be entitled to retrenchment benefits as stated below, depending on their tenure of employment and prorated in respect of the income per year calculated to the nearest months. For example, if Ahmad has worked for 7 years, so the compensation amount he should be receiving is daily rate times by 20 days times by 7 years. Second, it is ethical for the employers to also consider the condition of the worker when deciding on the compensation value. The worker all have commitments, that is why they need job. There might be employees who are parents with children in a pregnancy, elderly, or in strike with critical illness. For the very least, the company should try to allocate a sum of money, example of compensation of 3 months' salary for the retrenchments. Therefore, they can still support their life with the money or maybe start a business, or the money may support their life before finding a new job in the next 3 months. Lastly, the company can at least provide a complimentary or recommendation letter for each of them, so it will give the worker an advantage in finding a new job. It seems like a piece of paper, but if good words are put in, it will be a life-saving opportunity. I also believe that big companies have great connection with other companies. It would be nice if they can be recommended. In order to calm down the protest employees, Mr. Charles, we need to make a town hall meetings. Town hall meetings, also known as all-hands meetings, are a way for company management to meet and connect with their employees. This meeting should be hosted by you, the chairman, since I believe that a message delivered in person from the chairman will have more impact than one delivered by email. This meeting should be attended by all employees. Ask for ideas and broadcast in them so that they would think that the company also trying to find a possible solution aside from the retrenchments. To listen to both sides of stories so that the mutual agreement is reached to achieve win-win situations. Take this opportunity to make the employees sign an agreement so that they won't take further actions as to not ask, make protests or say ill things to the media or sue the company in the future, which I believe if that happens, it will tarnish more the reputation of this company and it will be more difficult for this company to grow again.
Okay, now we will move on to the regularization plan. Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Maulud. So today me and my friend Nurul Nadia will explain further to you guys on this matter. As we all know, with or without the public listed company status, Besico desperately needed a regularization plan in order to convince the Chinese investor to revive the company. After reviewing the details of information in Appendix 3, we have concluded that the downfall of Besico was mainly caused by the issues faced by Giant Steel, such as being ill-equipped with conservative technologies and procedures, spike in raw materials and production costs, no diversification of products, along with the inconsistent quality of products sold at a very premium price. So, we consider that there is not much planning can be made to both property and furniture division as their revenue depended on the policies made by Bank Negara Malaysia and currency exchange rate respectively. So in the regularization plan, we suggest that Besico focus on continuing and improving the operation of Giant Steel by implementing the following steps. The first step is to modernize the plant. To do so, we suggest that Besico equip Giant Steel with more advanced machine and equipment. Besides, they also need to seek expert personnel or companies to gain more skills and abilities for the company to learn and adopt the best steel manufacturing procedures. By implementing these steps, the company surely can increase the efficiency in managing their production and reduce the overall cost of the steel products. Having the latest equipment and expertise to handle them also ensure the company to produce higher quality steel goods at a bigger scale of production, which will satisfy the expectation of their customers. The diversification of product become part of the group regularization plan to rehabilitate its balance sheet and hopefully can convince the investor from China. So because of that, we suggest that Giant Steel conduct business level product diversification, which is expanding into a new segment of an industry that company is already operating in. This planning will involve concentric diversification strategy, which required Giant Steel to add similar products or services to the existing business. As we all know, before this, Giant Steel only focused on manufacturing upstream products such as steel billets and steel slabs. So under concentric diversification plan, the manufacture of downstream products such as steel rolls, pipes and wires will also become Giant Steel core business. Diversification allows for more variety of products and services to be marketed and will surely attract more buyers. If done correctly, it can provide a tremendous boost to the brand image and company profitability. However, giants still must sell their products at a competitive price and not at premium like they used to in order to make this plan a success.
My name is Nur Nadia Betty Syafuddin and I will continue with the presentation. So, the next step is Besico need to improve the efficiency of Giant Steel. They need to manage their supply chain. Supply chain management is where a company manages the movement and the storage of raw material that are involved in work in progress, inventory, and fully finished goods from the point of origin to the point of consumption. So, what is the basic of SCM process? Okay, the first one is return management. It involves picking up return order from customer and put it back into inventory. The second one is product development. The production team must work with the customer relationship management to identify what customer needs in their products. And the third one is supplier relationship management. It is a process that defines how Giant Steel interact with their supplier. The fourth one is demand management. It forecasts the demand and synchronizes it with the production, procurement, and distribution. The next one is the customer service management. It is a process where Giant Steel need to gather negative and positive feedback from customer for future product improvement. The next one is the customer relationship management, CRM. It is a structure for how relationship with the customer is developed and maintained. And the last one is order fulfillment. It involves coordinating with distribution center and retail location to get product direct to the customer. Let's proceed with the benefit of supply chain management. The first benefit is supply chain management can improve the product and material flow. Effective supply chain management enables Giant Steel to enhance product flow through accurate demand and sales forecasting. It also improves the inventory management to avoid underproduction and overproduction. The second benefit is seamless information flow. Effective supply chain management will allow Giant Steel to evaluate the quality of information sharing, reduce any possible risks, and enhance collaboration among the shareholders. And the third one is it also improves the financial flow. It can reduce the cash flow disruptions and enables the Giant Steel to make smart decisions. Supply chain management is allowing the company to address all the financial challenges and make planning on controlling and decreasing the supply chain expenditure. Big Data Analytics. Application of Big Data Analytics in production and business data can be beneficial to Giant Steel. Big data is a large quantity of data. The data can be captured, stored, communicated, aggregated, and also analyzed by the Giant Steel. Without analytics, big data is just a lot of data to Giant Steel. Therefore, they need to analyze the data to extract the knowledge and improve the production, maintenance, and also supply chain management. Besico also need to expand marketing activities of Giant Steel by venturing into online e-business platform. They need to create company official website and social media. This is because it can access a large of new audience. It is an opportunity to Giant Steel because they can reach a new people. Online e-business also is a cost-effective engagement because it is cheaper compared with TV or print advertising. Customers also can track their order status using online e-business platform since it provides real-time order. And the last one is online e-business also can improve the delivery performance of the company. That's all from us. Thank you.